Being Select Board, and we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing. Bow our heads in honor of all the people that have served, both past and present, here and abroad, and to keep our country strong and safe. Thank you. We have one member of the board on Zoom, so all the votes will be open, folks. Mrs. Brooks is on the and that's right. So announcements, recording of meeting. So we signed the warrant. We have no appointments. New business. Change of manager application for sale off 250 Elm Street, Dartmouth. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Carly. Nice to meet you all. Am I supposed to be up here?
Yeah. And how long have you been with Sail Loft?
So I started with our company 5 years ago in 2020, and I've been with Sail Off since 2022.
Mm-hmm. Any questions from the board?
Motion to approve.
Second. We have a motion to approve in a second. So Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Tattlebaum? Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Ms. Brooks?
Yes.
And Mr.
Yes.
Nicholson, yes. Thank you very much. We'll see you then.
Congratulations, Carly.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
Good luck.
Okay. Next on the list, Dog Hearing Officer, reappointment, Matthew Beauparland.
No, he is not here. We just have a reappointment. He previously served as hearing officer. At the end of the fiscal year, it was just an oversight in the office, I believe, and he was not reappointed. So we just need to have a hearing officer. So Officer Beauparland is interested in being reappointed.
Great.
Move the reappointment.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Tattlebaum?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill? Yes. Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Ms. Brooks?
Yes.
Mr. Nicholson, yes. All set.
Heidi, can you turn your mic up just to hear?
I don't think.
I can see you saying yes,
Mike,
but I can't
Mike,
hear
can
you.
you turn her mic up?
I'm up all, as far as it goes.
Okay.
I think it needs to be up in here. the
It needs to
volume.
be up in here. All right, I can hear her.
Okay. We got a home rule, a petition, Farm and Coast article.
Yes, so the board, I'm sure, is familiar with this. This has been before you a few times. It was also before town meeting in June of 2024. Within that article, which was approved, it allows the board to make changes that are necessary without substance. It most recently went to the Massachusetts House of Representatives and came back with some verbiage changes here. So in your packet, you have H4006. That is the final version of the bill that needs to be approved in order for this to go before the legislature. And so in there, you also have each of the kind of changes and what the changes are. So we're looking for the board to approve H4006 so that the legislature can take this up and Representative Markey can bring it forward for their next session.
Motion approved.
Okay, it's 4006?
Yes,
I
4006.
see 4600. That's the
First
old
one, yeah.
Okay, okay.
The new one is H4006.
Okay,
So they had the wrong,
second down.
There was a section that was incorrectly labeled, and then it wasn't specific on the type of license to be granted, so it has to be specifically stated. There wasn't a specific window within the language, and so you have to include language on a 3-year window. Issuance timeline, there was no specific timeline, so we have to add that they must issue within 1 year of the effective date. Application rules, and no return requirement. Those
they
are
have to give back that other license, correct?
Yes.
must return the existing
Right.
wine and malt license.
Correct, right.
Question? This means, of course, it cannot reach our, do we have to vote town meeting again on this?
We do not.
Oh.
No, the town meeting article that was previously approved allows for the board to approve future changes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion to,
Sean, second.
second, Mr. Tattlebaum. Mr. McDonald.
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill.
Yes.
Ms. Brooks.
Yes.
Whoa.
Nicholson, yes. Okay, next up, status of old police station.
Yes, so I had mentioned this in one of my updates recently. We recently had an inspection by Fire Chief Lancaster, who noticed some deficiencies with the alarm system. We have since gotten those fixed based on the letter that was presented. We also were informed that if the building continues to be utilized by the police department for training, there's some additional measures that we would have to take that would be a cost to the town. I did have a conversation with Chief Levesque and did explain that we may have to cease using the building for training. He understood. He felt another town would be able to come up with a building if needed. So really just need the board to decide if we want to move forward and invest, probably a few $1,000s, some electrical work to get the emergency exit signs working, fire extinguishers have to be placed throughout the building, or do we want to cease the use in that building?
So, we don't have to do any of that if we don't allow anybody in the building. Is that right, Chief? You want to come up? Yeah? Yeah. And do we have any numbers of how much it would cost to,
No, it's not that's no longer my, my area, but,
You know
Several $1,000s.
That-
It's a range. We don't want to invest too much time and effort into this until we know what the board's pleasure is, but several thousand.
yeah,
I mean, my only concern is that we have a working fire alarm system in there that's got third-party monitoring in case there was a fire that starts in there. There's evidence on the back door that was brought to my attention where somebody tried to pry the back door open. The building has lots of combustibles inside, loose paper that kids could easily start a fire with. You got a historic building next door. That's my concern. That's like the number one issue. What Cody's talking about is like a secondary issue, if you use the building or not. If you don't use the building, then you don't need exit signs, you don't need anything, and it's a locked up building. But that's completely issue number two to me, so that's up to you guys.
yeah.
Issue number one has been rectified.
Perfect.
We're hiring a monitoring company, but the alarm is operational now.
Excellent, excellent. Yep.
I don't think we should use that building for anything. So do we,
Yeah, so the board needs to make a decision on whether they want to continue to allow the police to utilize it for training, and then we would pursue those measures, so we're in compliance, as the chief stated, or, choose to forego the use of that building, and it essentially, would sit empty, so we would be able to forego that.
So the only outstanding thing I think we have on that building is the Mass Works Act.
We did, literally an hour or two ago, receive word that we did not get funded in that application.
Okay. All right,
I
I'll
think
make the
we-
motion that we cease to use the building as a training option.
you have a second?
Just second
Yeah,
that.
we have a second. Miss,
Comment?
any discussion? Yeah,
Do we have any comment from the chief as to how important that was, or can you find another alternative?
you already did.
Yeah, the chief, I spoke with him, letting him know that would be a conversation. And he advised that, they more use it for the regional SWAT in that type of training, in that they could just, another town would have to essentially come up with something.
So we're voting on this?
If someone-
Yeah, wait a minute. Go ahead. David, finish it.
No, it's okay, go ahead, somebody else?
Anyone else want to talk on the board regarding this?
I think, my personal opinion is this sounds like a separate issue, is that this is all about whether the police should use it or not, but I'd like to have an additional discussion about the building once we vote on this.
Right. well,
Yeah,
that's-
they
we're
they
not-
will, yeah.
The only thing is, we're only voting on whether we use it or we don't use it. No other
For
conversation.
this discussion.
Yeah, now that we know
So
the
it's not-
future of the Mass Works.
We're not doing any more but that.
I'm asking that we discuss, I'm asking that we have this vote, and we have an additional discussion about the status of the building. I know it's separate from the vote, but we need to vote on that.
Right, but it's not on the agenda for tonight.
It says status of old police station.
So the goal, when the chair and I met to set the agenda, was basically what we've discussed. The future plans for the police station is a future agenda item. We didn't know we would have word on the grant. Like I said, we literally just got word from them this evening that it was not funded. So we're not prepared to have that conversation, but that is something the board will now need to take on at a future meeting.
So we're going to vote tonight only on the status of the use by the police,
Right.
whether you open or close the building, and that's it.
Correct.
Good. Ms. Gaducci.
Susan Gaducci, Precinct 9. If this, we know that the police have been utilizing that building for training purposes for at least 3 years now. If it's a regional use, why couldn't other towns that have been using the building along with Dartmouth fund whatever needs to be funded for the alarms?
They don't have an interest in that. They utilize abandoned buildings in towns that have no cost. They're not looking to take on a cost. Like I said, another community would just come up with a building that they could utilize.
So in another town, they wouldn't have to have alarms or
No, they may.
exits or lighted exits or any of that.
Would it be buildings that are
Already,
currently in
yeah,
use?
they could already be wired for that, right? If it's a building that they're utilizing or have utilized for training. Ours just isn't.
But I understood from the chief that it is wired, only it needs to be updated or it needs,
There's significant electrical work that would need to take place for all the emergency exit signs to be operational.
so it went from a few thousand to significant.
We're estimating a few thousand.
All right, I don't consider a few thousand significant, but you were talking 20,000 maybe, but a few thousand?
Got your motion?
So we're going to vote on it?
Did you second it? Sean seconded.
Okay. Mr. Tattelbaum?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill? Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Ms. Brooks?
Yes.
Mr. Mickelson, yes. Next is the Aiken House lease discussion.
Yeah.
One quick, are we going to put the station on the agenda soon, gather the information, you put it on the agenda soon?
Yes.
Which would be the status of the building?
Yeah, I mean, now that we know that the grant application was not funded, the board will need to.
As soon as we can.
decide how. Yep,
As soon as
I'll
it-
work with the chair to
Great.
get it on an
Okay.
upcoming agenda.
Thank you.
Okay. You want to go over this?
Sure. So
Mr.
we
Cody?
recently, the current lease with the DHPT, Dartmouth, what does it stand? Heritage Preservation Trust. It expired in June of 2024, and we recently issued an RFP to solicit proposals to lease the building. We did not receive any proposals. There is a town meeting article on the warrant to fund some work to DHPT at the Aiken House. In an effort to preserve the house and work with DHPT and continue the work that they've done there, myself and our assistant town administrator met with Diane Gilbert today and went over options to how best to move forward. What we came up with was to bring forward a one-year lease for the board for their approval at the next meeting. That would allow us to have a current lease in place for the town meeting article and the project to move forward. And then during that one-year term, we would work to come up with a plan to execute a long-term agreement or a longer-term agreement with hopefully DHPT to continue to preserve the Aiken House. So that there was some concerns from DHPT regarding the RFP process. We are taking those items into consideration, but I think the goal is to get something in place prior to town meeting so our residents know that there is a active lease ongoing for the property. So if there's any questions, can answer that, but the goal would be to bring forward a lease for the board's approval at the next meeting.
So we're not going to vote tonight.
Nothing to vote, more just giving the board an update and a plan.
Great. All right.
That arrangement meets with their,
The 1-year term, yes, we feel we can reach an agreement, right, Diane? We had a nice conversation today, and then that gives us some time to work out some of the concerns from both parties going forward for a longer-term agreement.
great.
Mr. McDonald, all right? We're all set?
I'm
Yep.
fine. It's about time.
Okay, revised license agreement for Fons Corner Road sign.
Yes, so the board had approved this agreement at the last meeting. I worked with Ken Steen to send it over to him and get his feedback. There were a couple of small recommended changes from him. Essentially, just the name of the LLC changed, so nothing of substance. And then the other change that he had put in was to remove the approval of the Department of Public Works and change it to the Building Department. In the final draft that I sent off earlier today, I included language that was for the Building Department, but would just require that the DPW basically reviews it to make sure that it's in compliance with the licensing and agreement. So not a further approval from DPW, but rather the biggest thing was 10 feet from the public utilities. So that was added in here. And so this is, hopefully would be the final version based on Mr. Steen's feedback and what the board had previously approved.
Looks good to me. I see the $200 fee is in there.
It is.
Right.
I would like to speak on that. Can you hear me?
Ms. Williams? Yep, we can.
So after the last meeting, as I drove home, I kept thinking about that throw out of a number seemed to be in different than how we assign fees in departments. And the fees are to be designed to compensate the department for the work they did to create, to execute whatever that.
Connection's bad.
Frozen in the Ozarks.
The building department cut her off. I think.
They don't have the building department.
We lost you, Heidi.
Oh,
Oh, there we go.
You're back.
You're back, but it
Can
was
you
like
hear me now?
Yeah.
Create
Okay.
fees, whatever was said after that.
all right, sorry. It's saying it's unstable. I apologize for that. So the issue is that the fee should be what the department needs to execute the permit. So I went back and asked for the amount of money that this permit needed to create the permit and all the work behind it. And I'm going to propose that we charge $1,000 and not an annual. It's a $1,000 per sign, like we do in every other department for the fee. It was a $1,000 effort on the part of our attorney and folks in the office who worked on this. So I'm going to ask that the $1,000 fee be added into this document, since we're tweaking it.
So $2,000, correct?
Well, it would be $1,000 per sign. So in this case, it would be $2,000, but it's actually two different signs.
There are two different signs, correct?
So I'm assuming it's two different permits.
Yes.
No, this is one license. We have this as one license. It's one licensing agreement for both signs. They would have
For the two addresses?
Yes, yeah, it covers both. They would still be required to submit for a building sign permit through the building department, and that may require separate permits. I'm not quite sure if that would be one permit or two for the signs, but that would still be required regardless of what the board does here. They'd have to apply for the sign permit.
That was the way I understood it. It was above and beyond the normal charges for the permits.
Yes, any applicable permit
Correct.
fee for a sign permit, building permit would still apply.
Correct.
This is a one-time fee we're talking about?
No, yearly.
$1,000?
I think Heidi said one time, right?
My proposal was a one-time fee.
Okay.
These permits are taken out once. There's no reason to get an annual permit for this.
Licensing agreement.
And we don't have the setup to collect fees on an annual basis that I'm aware of.
What's the pleasure of the board?
Mr. Chairman,
It says per year.
Right,
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. McDonald.
Well, I agree the work that's done by staff should reflect on any fees. We need to see it to justify $1,000. I can't justify it just on, what Madam Chair has said, especially at this late in the game. I don't agree with what the motion that Mrs. Brooks is proposing. I don't agree with that. I also don't agree with the licensing agreement, but that's a different story. That's something entirely separate. But as far as increasing it from 200 to 1,000, I can't agree. I don't, not at this late in the game. I can't, because there's gonna be more money, anyway, he's gonna have to pull a permit for the signs from the building department, so whatever that's gonna be.
Plus the $30,000 each sign.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, the
but,
$200 would be.
all due respect for that, that's a cost of doing business.
Yeah, it is, but
So-
it's also $200 a year in a fee,
Yeah, so,
plus the building department fee.
yeah.
Well, I understand Heidi's premise here, but the inconsistency of this board agreed to throw $200 on there, and now we're saying it should be 1,000 or 2,000. It doesn't seem very fair. I also would like to say here and now that I hope this is a lesson for the future in futile, wasted time on a somewhat insignificant issue. I hope we spend a lot more time on, this much time on important issues down the road. This has gone on way too long, way too far. We got to vote on it now and be done with this.
Well, Mr. Tattlebaum just commented on that, this small matter. We often are asking for council's input on matters. And Mr. Tattlebaum himself has asked for council. What's council's thought on this?
Yep.
Our council was against this.
Yeah, but now you want to charge $1,000 apiece.
Well, what I'm saying, I'm not saying that I'm going to vote for or against this. I voted against the whole thing at the last meeting and previously voted against it. However, we do not charge fees arbitrarily in our, in the town of Dartmouth. They're backed up by what does it cost the department to process what it needed to do.
That's a whole different debate.
So that's how fees are assigned in every department. That's what I've been told. So I asked, how much did it cost for Anthony Stavastano to look over this, for our folks in our department to do the prep work? The number I was given was $1,000. And that's why I have put $1,000.
I'm sure.
But
That's what the fees
All
are
due
based
respect,
on.
Mrs. Brooks, Attorney Savastano doesn't look at every building permit, doesn't look at every permit in town. So,
No, but he looked at this,
He looked at this because we asked him to,
yes,
so, and we can't,
okay.
And Heidi, the fee's
That's on
actually
us.
going to be, you're actually going to collect more money than the one-time
Right, in 4 years, it'll be
$1,000
$800.
fee per sign, so,
It's ongoing, $200 a year.
that's per year.
So in 5 years, there's your $1,000.
He's agreed to that as well.
Right. And that's an agreement that we have before us
Two
tonight.
changes in front of us are the name, because the property's owned in a different name, and the, adding the building department
Yeah.
to the license.
Mrs. Brooks, you still want to stand firm with that motion?
Nope, no, I didn't get a second, so
Right.
it's off the table.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Motion to accept the changes on the license.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Tattlebaum?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Ms. Brooks?
No.
Mr. McDonald?
No.
Mr. Mickelson, yes. 3-2, it passes.
Just like the last vote. That's okay.
Yeah, we'll get that after.
It should be one heck of a sign, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, okay.
Is it in color? All right, town administrator update.
Yes, we have just been actively working on preparing for town meeting. Myself and our finance director, Gary Carrero, recorded a town meeting preview meeting that should go out later this week through DCTV, so our residents can look forward to seeing that. And that is pretty much it. We just had a meeting last week, so not much to update.
Proposed town properties.
Yeah, so I have just a sheet here, as I had told the board that I would put together. This is an updated list of, some of the larger ongoing projects as the board had requested, their current status. And I did anything that has an active building permit. You see that column on the far right. I've added a building permit column. So if there's any questions, I thought the benefits of doing it this way was, you all can now go on to OpenGov, our online permitting at any time, and now just type in the permit number and you can see what's going on with those permits. So that's why I provided the permit numbers there.
There's a new one here on, I didn't realize, First Citizens? Is that,
Wolf River Road,
Yep.
is that First Citizens Bank or First Citizens Federal Credit Union?
Credit Union.
The credit union.
Yeah.
They come up.
They wanted to do they wanted to do the service center.
It's their some sort of headquarters or offices, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Call center.
Nice. Okay, I like that. Not have to go too far to complain. I like that. That's
Old business.
I have no new updates on any of those items.
And there are no minutes.
wow.
Select board updates. Mr. O'Neill?
I just got a couple of quick ones. The meeting that we had with the school department, I was back and forth with Jim Kiley about the program that I was speaking about, the safety program for the building. And my niece actually works for the Fairhaven administration in the school department, and they are working together with the other towns on a similar project. So I was able to send them over, I checked with Serped, they are still doing the safety program for those municipal buildings. And he gave me a number. It was higher than the one that they were looking at in Fairhaven, so I gave that information to Jim. So hopefully that'll be, put together at some point so we can get those buildings assessed, get the safety plans in place for both fire and police, on top of the federal program that they had brought in a while back. I think I'm going to let you off the hook easy. I don't think I had the other one. No, that's going to be it for me. Yeah, too many notes. All set.
Mr. McDonald?
Yeah, but can you just put in a request to Chief Levesque to find out whether or not traffic enforcement on Route 6 is a priority or not a priority? It's the blocking of the intersection again, as usual. And I saw an officer pull somebody over today. I didn't see, it was because it didn't seem like they were blocking. So it was probably something bonehead that they pulled and went through a red light or something. But it just seems to me that it's just happening. Maybe it doesn't happen too much Monday through Thursday, but on Fridays, oh God, is it horrible. I mean, and I hate to keep saying this, I drive up and down Route 6 4 times a day, and I see 4 times the idiots. I just don't understand it. And I mean, I'm not saying we should have somebody camped out there, but if you see it see somebody blocking, just, even if you gotta tell them, pull them over, and just say, hey, look, I could give you a ticket, but don't do it again. Maybe that'll help. And I understand it's gonna, we just can't wait for the state to get off their backside and to do the Hathaway Road thing, and I really don't wanna complain about the landscaping on Route 6, but God, if my yard looked like that, my neighbors would be in a tiz. It looks like crap. I was gonna use another word, but Diane and Sue and Janine in here and the lovely reporter, I didn't wanna use the word.
They've heard a lot
And
worse.
Tim is here too, I didn't want him to listen to that word. But, I mean, it's an absolute, it almost to the point where I feel like going out there myself with bottles of vinegar and just pouring the hell out of it and killing it, and then a week later setting it on fire. It's just absolute crap. And, I just don't understand it. I really don't. And, I mean, we have our own problems in town, but, the state doesn't need to add to it.
I share your concerns. It's, we should be ashamed, or they should be ashamed of themselves.
And I understand, they got a skeleton crew working out there. They got one guy in a lawnmower, which is fine, I understand. And he doesn't have time to pick up the trash that he runs over with the lawnmower that blows all over the neighborhood. It blows on it. I don't know. Frustrating.
Okay.
That's it for me.
Tattlebaum.
I'd like to acknowledge the last of our 3 sessions of long-range planning, the committee, the presenters. We had a lot of comments. There's a lot of visuals on through DCTV, and the next step will be to present in the early winter, January, February. The next plan is to solidify what the major projects are. We'll go that. So thanks to everybody for preparing it, listening, and time moved on for that. I also would like to acknowledge the passing of Jane Goodall. One that I happen to have met her many times, and one of the most magnificent people I've ever known in a lifetime of service to the world. And I'm hoping that as time passes, people will recognize who didn't really know well what she's done, what she stood for, and she did it till her dying day. She died in her sleep gently, but she was on the road, ready for another lecture the next night. And it's amazing what one person can do and what hope can bring. And I'm hoping that message resonates to the entire world, and a lesson learned that we can do better and help other out and be conscious of what the world is. Thank you, Jane Goodall, and rest in peace. Thank you.
Yeah. I just want to make a note about Mr. Manny Branco, our former DPW superintendent for many, many years, passed away a few days ago. I believe his funeral is tomorrow. Just a lovely guy, hardworking individual, very, very, very well respected by everyone, and R.I.P. Manny. And I'm going to get a Manny Branco steak the first chance I get.
Cafe Mimo.
Yeah?
It's off the menu, but it is.
Yeah.
But one of the things too, Manny's also, and it's not known for throughout the town, is he's basically the impetus for the Sister Cities Committee. He's the one that got, he started on Povasau, put the idea to some of the people's idea to get it going, and took care of it and started it up. So he was the impetus on that. So, but yeah, dealing with Manny over the years, icon is not the most appropriate word for him, because I think he's beyond that. He was just a gentleman throughout, and a wonderful person to deal with, and he'll be sorely missed.
Anyone else? Any other information?
Yep. I just wanted to mention that I, along with a few other folks, went last week for a tour of Crapo Hill landfill. And I was very, very impressed. I've never been on the site before. I've been the gate to pick up a mulch container and stuff like that. But having gone on and being able to stand on the top of the first two cells and look at the cells that are active right now that they're working on, and really getting a firsthand look at the process of bringing our trash there on a daily basis, and the work that they're doing at Crapo Hill to make sure that we are extracting anything usable, such as the gases that are produced by the rotting garbage, and put into something useful, which is pretty impressive. But also they take the care every evening when they close it up to cover what the working cells are doing, cover those so that over the course of the evening, it's not, garbage is not blowing around. It's not something that the seagulls and other birds and four-footed friends will go after, because they've covered the top of it for the night, which helps with the settling, and then they start their process again the following day. It was very, very impressive.
Yeah, it's a far cry from the old Sharman Avenue, Phil.
Yeah, it was quite an
Yeah,
amazing.
and I mean, I can remember going to the dump with my family in Dartmouth, where the transfer station is now, but up on the hill. Very different and very well cared for. There was a smell, and not a horrible smell, when you were downwind in one area. The rest of the visit, no problem at all. And it's very interesting to see the group of, I'm going to say, young folks, professionals that are working there, all invested in sustainability and how can we make this work and how can we be kind to our land. Topics that were not in the degree programs when I left for college. So very impressive.
It was.
And we're doing a great job in Dartmouth with our recycling, and so we're really extending all our work. Each resident's work is really extending the life of Crapo Hill. So thank you, citizens.
Great job. Anyone else?
That's it.
No, John Beauregard's doing a great job up there, Heidi, you're right. And the young staff he's got working for him will give us some runway over there. Hopefully, if we can, if they're able to keep them on for a while, which I think they're pretty happy over there. So they're helping the town more than people really will, I think, ever know. The cost of getting rid of your trash is not something to be taken lightly. So they're doing a good job.
And they will be prolonging that new cell for what did he mention? Maybe 20 years?
13, 15 years.
Yeah,
roughly.
yeah,
If they
that's
get
incredible.
If we could add the new cell on.
Absolutely incredible.
So the landfill was set to expire when Mrs. Gilbert was sitting on the board. Okay, so how long has it been since? And it's going to continue even further. So
Great job.
kudos to the citizens of the town for doing the job in the recycling. Also kudos to the Greater New Bedford Rescue District for the work that they've done. Together, we have helped us in not quadrupling our cost to get rid of the trash.
The numbers are staggering if we had to pay the current rate. David, anything else?
I'm all set.
Anyone else?
No.
I need a motion.
to adjourn.
Second.
Mr. Tattelbaum?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Ms. Brooks?
Yes.
Mr. Mickelson, yes. Meeting is adjourned.